This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details. And just in case you missed it, it's the top 5 sports talkers of the day. Now, it's time for Dan Barrero's Top 5 at 5. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet of Minnesota. Never clean your gutters again. Learn more at GutterHelmetMN.
The show with Mace after he's done is even better than when he's on. That's when we get the really juicy stuff. The stuff that he's not quite sure he's ready to say on air.
Yep.
Although he went pretty far this week. He called Brian Kelly obnoxious.
That was good.
And then he said, well, he appears to be obnoxious. I think he's worried about the headline. Because does he realize we could turn that into, on X, a headline?
Yeah.
Glenn Mason calls Brian Kelly obnoxious, and it would get some play nationally. And I'm not disagreeing with him, by the way. I'm just saying that he's an ex-coach, head coach. So there would be some reaction to that, would there not?
Be a modicum of buzz.
Yeah, one way to
a modicum of buzz.
Term it, I guess.
Well, you could call it the fifth quarter with Mace. Do a podcast. Call it the fifth quarter.
God, more time with him. Come on, man.
You want to talk Vikes?
Yeah, well, let's do it.
I'm not an idiot. I knew what I was signing up for. Who said that today at TCO?
I'm going to say it just might be Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, reading from our guy Ben Gessling's story. Ben will join on Friday. Said Wentz also said he wanted to stay in Thursday night's loss against the Chargers, saying he thinks public backlash to the team keeping him in the game is, quote, kind of crazy. This isn't my first rodeo. I'm not an idiot. I knew what I was signing up for going out there. Nobody was forcing me, pressuring me, any of those things. Everybody's handled this tremendously. Communication has been phenomenal from coaches, trainers, all the things. We knew what we were doing. Alignment, collaboration, intentionality. I added the last 3.
I'm just saying, we kind of knew all this. I'm going to go, as much as it pains me to agree with Mace, I'm going to go with Mace on this. And I get it. He's a college coach. You could say he's thinking differently because, the players... Well, actually, now there probably are going to be some 32-year-old college players soon. And, Wentz is an adult. But I'm going to go with Mace that the coach, no matter what the level is, still has a certain measure of responsibility. And I guess I'm not buying totally. And I don't even think all doctors agree with the notion that it couldn't get worse. I don't believe it, first of all, with some of the hits that he took. But beyond that, I still believe the right decision was, if you want to call it a mercy rule, call it whatever you want. There are times you have to protect the player from himself, even if he's a 32-year-old man. I firmly believe it. I think it was a swing and miss by the Vikings and KOC in this particular occasion. They can hide behind what a lot of people agree with. That's football. That's pro football. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. We're not talking about a concussion. This isn't a head injury. And we do what we do. But I don't accept it in this case. I thought it was a bad look for this organization. It'll be long forgotten, especially if McCarthy gets back on the field and plays well. Then obviously everybody's going to move on. It's not like people are going to stop watching the team.
And along those lines, J.J. McCarthy was a full participant in practice today. The first Vikings injury report of the week has been released. His ankle allowed him to participate fully today. Christian Darrisaw's knee allowed him to participate fully today. And Andrew Van Ginkel, for the first time in a while, was a full participant in practice today. In terms of limited, Brian O'Neill was limited with the knee injury. Isaiah Rodgers limited with a shoulder. Jonathan Grenard limited with an ankle. CJ Ham, Jeff Okudah, and Josh Oliver all did not participate. But the headline, the 3 full participants, right? Darisaw, talked about him earlier in the show.
Yep.
JJ, he's the QB.
Yep.
And Gink. Up until now, his biggest contribution has been his wife canceling the Love Boat during bye week. Might be able to get back out on the field against the Lions.
This could be very sizable. There's no question about it. I mean, we're all looking for signs of salvaging the season. Is that possible? Is there much hope? You're obviously playing a very difficult game against a good team on the road. So all hands on deck, right? The greater your ability to get the pieces back or pieces back that you think might be part of the solution, you obviously welcome that. You have the extra time to get those players healthy as well. Van Ginkel is a very influential part of this defense. There's no question about it. I don't think they can hide behind the fact that they're, act like they're the only team that ever has injuries, but he's a high-impact player when he's going good, right? There's no question. So, and I think the betting line was he might still be a couple of weeks off. So this has been a positive development. We'll see how it goes as the week goes on, but it's certainly a sign that he, as he said, he intends to play this week. So you'll take, at this point, whatever you can if you're Kevin O'Connell, correct?
The Wild held a 4.44 to 2.42 advantage in expected goals in all situations per natural stat trick last night against Winnipeg. But they lost 4-3 in overtime. They are now 0-5-1 when trailing after the first period, which they were last night. They got down 2-rip pretty much right away. They've given up the first goal in 8 of their first 11 games and have 9 points, good enough for 7th place outside of the 7th place in the wild card spot right now. They only keep 2 and are not doing great with Pittsburgh on the horizon tomorrow night at the X.
Yeah, well,
but they played great.
They deserved better fate. That's what we're hearing again, as we talked about much earlier in the program. It's a message that should mean absolutely nothing to hardcore, grizzled Minnesota Wild fans who have every right to say, I don't need that any longer. I need victories. I don't need consolation prizes. And the sooner you get on with the act of winning more games and dispensing with the nonsense of we deserved a better fate, we'll all be much happier for it. It's an easy itch that gets scratched. Often they're not the only team that doesn't. It's not the only sport in which that itch is scratched. But if you're a team, as I said earlier, with as little winning equity as the Minnesota Wild as a franchise have right now, even if I believed it as a player, coach, assistant coach, general manager, I wouldn't utter it out loud because I wouldn't expect it to have any meaning to people who scratch their head and go, what are we doing? Well, how am I supposed to feel better about a deep stat analytic that says we should have won the game? Was it 4.2 to 2.4?
Yeah, right. 4.4 to 2.42, maybe.
Okay, we're happy for everybody. Yeah. There is no. That's not when you look at the standings. That will not be reflected.
Wolves back in action tonight, 8:30 against the Lakers. You'll hear it right here on the Fan.
They're previewing the game right now with Charles and the gang. Yeah, they're talking about it, Lakers and Wolves.
No Ant, no Luka, no LeBron. Jalen Clark is questionable with a left calf strain. He missed the game against Denver on Monday night. Otherwise, everybody is expected to go tonight. A game, as I mentioned, you can hear right here on the Fan.
And we didn't need Josh Minot.
Well, you still haven't gotten to that.
We'll get to that maybe next segment.
The Fan and 2 men and a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Final keyword of the evening is win, W-I-N. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword win.
What is the Shaq wig all about? He's wearing a wig, a huge, what's the bit?
Oh, I don't know.
Do we know?
Nope, I do not.
Is that supposed to be like a Halloween costume? Because they got a lot of Halloween graphics around them. It's right around the corner. I don't know. Did you see who the fine sponsor is for the ESPN tip-off show with Charles... Kenny and the gang? Popeyes.
My frequent Friday post enough said stop.
Yeah, I'm making me hungry right now for sure. Kessler's in the house.
He's here.
He's going to join about 5:30. He's going to file a live report on what it was like to be at the stadium as the Vikings were getting crushed by the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego. The Vikings have added quarterback John Wolford to the practice squad. We knew they were going to need to add a third body, and they apparently have. He's 30. He's played in 7 NFL games, 4 starts going back from 2020 to 22. 1 start with the Rams in 2020 when Kevin O'Connell was the Rams offensive coordinator. For the record, he led his team to an 18-7 home win against Arizona. That was the last game of the regular season. He was 22 for 38, 231 yards with an interception, and a passer rating of not particularly distinguished 64.7. It makes sense. We said, I don't think they have any intention of having him enter the fray as the backup. It looks like they're prepared to go forward with Max Brosmer as the backup. But you got to have three quarterbacks, right? Because of emergency, the possibility of both of them getting hurt, whatever the case may be. But that was the name I could not remember. I don't remember anything about him. Do you?
Nothing.
I'm not denying that he existed or exists in the National Football League. Is it possible we're going to rue the day that we didn't find a way to keep Josh Minot? They're raving about him in Boston. He just started his first game. I think it was against the New Orleans, I should say. Pels. They destroy the Pels 122-90. And Minot scores a career-high 15. Inserted into the starting lineup after a very promising game the game before. 9 boards, a steal, and a block shot in 28 minutes. He finished with a, wait for it, plus-minus of plus 42.
The job is done. We can go home now.
Tying for the 8th best mark in team history during the play-by-play era. Now, we have fun with the we didn't need him thing. Sometimes we mean it. Sometimes we don't. But I did file away a comment going all the way back to late training camp, before the season began, that I heard from the very capable basketball analyst named Brian Scalabrine. And Scal, as he is affectionately called among his friends, he's former NBA player and has become big-time color analyst on Celtics games. Now, in fact, he's one of the color analysts on, is he NBC?
One of the streamers,
NBC,
yeah.
NBC and Peacock. In passing, I heard him say the Celtics have no idea how the Wolves could let this kid go. That he was the talk of training camp. There was great belief. Now, again, the Celtics are in a mode this year where they can play around a little bit, right? They're waiting for their star player to come back healthy. Jason Tatum, who might or might not. I think the betting money is, because he's a freak when it comes to being in shape, that he's going to play before the season's done. But they do have a little, in the interim, a little more freedom to say, we're going to throw some people out there, including Luka, who also, by the way, had a nice game. Check the Luka numbers in the last box score. But Scal said they are in love with Minot, especially at the age of 22 years old. So will we rue the day? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, they liked him.
But they did like him, but we couldn't keep him, I guess. Couldn't find a way to keep him.
No.
Here's the quote from Minot after the Celtics' 122-90 victory. I'm still kind of high on life from the game right now. I mean, just the opportunity to be out there, just to contribute to winning, contribute to team success. I can't take that for granted. Joe is in the head coach. Missoula has given me the opportunity, and I just don't want to allow that to go in vain. You got to love that hunger, don't you? You got to love the sentiment that's offered there.
Well, he sat on the bench here for 3 years.
He did, for pretty much ever.
16-6 for Luka, by the way.
Off the bench, not bad.
3 for 4 from 3.
That ain't bad, is it?
4 fouls. That makes sense.
So there you have it. Minot off to a nice start. I'm not ready to call him the new oppressor, as in Finchy, the way we, kid that Tibbs was referred to.
If you recall, about a year ago at this time, Minot was kind of the 8th guy in the rotation. They were giving him run, right, or trying to, and he played pretty well, but he's one of those guys that Finchy never warmed up to. He always had the short hook on his defensive issue, whatever it was. It was one of those bits where Finchie never really warmed up to him. So good for him because he's a talented guy. We knew that.
Apparently, he had a kind of a scary fall, did Minot, in the second quarter. Here's the quote from his coach. He doesn't have a choice. You get hurt, you're not playing ever again. So he had the right attitude. He got up. He almost got the deflection, I think. Again, it hadn't gone the way we anticipated, but I think we've gotten better physically and mentally, and those plays show that. But the other thing I forgot to mention, I should have mentioned this with Johnny. During the preseason, did you see what Missoula started doing to make a point about the importance of offensive rebounding?
No.
I've never heard of this before. Even in preseason, I haven't heard of this. He told his team, so there was no surprise here. He basically said, look, here's the rule we're playing under in the preseason. If your man steals gets an offensive rebound at your expense, you're coming out of the game next break in the action.
I like it.
And he did it. He did it a bunch. How often do we see that sort of direct accountability in an NBA game?
I was going to say NBA, you don't.
Any game, really.
I say high school, you might.
Yeah.
JV, you might.
So he apparently held to it. You know, like guys were conditioned enough to, well, okay, stoppage and play. I'm going to walk over the bench because I got to be pulled because I let my guy get an offensive board.
The standard is the standard. The Celtic standard.
I'm going to guess Wolves-Lakers tonight, late game here on the Fan. I'm going to say the Wolves are favored by 1.5.
They are favored by 7.5,
Oh my God.
according to ESPN bets.
I disrespected them. And I guess I am because LeBron and Lithsum Luka are both out, correct?
Correct.
And we got one superstar out, Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
But we got, as far as we know, we have everybody else.
Pretty much. Clark's going to be a game-time decision.
That's right, yeah.
But he's a rotation guy. He's not a starter. Mm-hmm. But every other starter, Naz Reid, everybody else is good.
Well, in all honesty, one of the challenges this year, it's well known. We're not the first. It's not the first time we've discussed it. This, to me, has to be the year where Finchie finds a creative way to play more young players. Even if he's even if he has to grit his teeth sometimes doing it, you know? Because I know in the Finchie purist world, it's like, I don't want to play a guy until he proves to me he's worthy of it in practice. I don't like seeing breakdowns, right? I think that's what hurts Dillingham.
Yep.
But I think because of the change in the roster from last season, he's got to find a way. And to me, the key to this is, on a given day, if a guy's going a little bit better, play him longer. Do it in drips and drabs, and it might then lead to something more systematic. Don't you? I think he's got to. He's got to be, and so some of this has to do with his creativity. He's got to find a matchup where, this is the game where we get another 10 minutes out of Dillingham. I like this matchup better. And then if you build some success with that, not just with him, but he's certainly a key part of this going forward, then maybe that player gains a little more confidence and you get to a better place so that by the end of the season or 3/4 of the way through the season, you're seeing signs of what was seen in any number of these players when Tim Conley decided to draft them, correct, or acquire them.
Got to give him a shot at some point. Your guy,
Walker Kessler, did you see what he did? Who's their big scorer in Utah? I can see him, but I can't. Markkanen.
Oh, Lauri Markkanen.
Markkanen also everybody's scoring 50 these days. I mean, 50 is like no big deal anymore, apparently. But Walker Kessler had a monster game. I think it was something like 26, 15, 9 block shots. And most people had predicted that Utah was going to be lucky to win 10 games this year. I think they've already won 2. So keep that in mind as well. Kessler's in the house. He was in Los Angeles for the Vikings-Rams debacle. He will tell us why. Chargers, not Rams. That was last year's debacle. The Chargers was the opponent. If he got in any brawls,
sayonara, suckers.
Who he rubbed elbows with, Did he smoke any of the ganja out there? Because everybody says in California it's a little bit more potent. And we'll get to some political ups and downs as well with Kessie when we return.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
Pat Kessler. Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
I can't trust Obama. He's an Arab.
Pat Kessler.
Tear down this wall.
I did nothing wrong at the Minneapolis airport.
Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Pat Kessler.
And now, to help Dan break down all the tough questions in politics, it's our own
Pat Kessler.
Political Wonk.
I feel like a supermodel, except like times 10.
It's Channel 4's
Pat Kessler.
with Dan Barrero on the Fan.
Back from his latest junket
The stories a stadium could tell.
to the West Coast. He is a world traveler. Kessler has become, in his ancient old age, a big-time world traveler. Italy 1 week.
In my
Los
ninth
Angeles,
decade.
California.
Yep.
Yeah. Who knew that you had this in you? It really has more to say about your better half than it does you.
Wow.
But I mean, who's to blame you for taking full advantage of exactly that? You know, I mean, why wouldn't
That hurts
you?
me. Not a lot.
That sounded,
Not a lot.
That sounded a little cold.
That hurts me.
It sounded colder than I intended.
Yeah. Oh, really, Dan?
Yeah, well, occasionally.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, my life is awesome. Are you kidding me? So I went there, though, with a little trepidation in Los Angeles for the Vikings last Thursday. And I was a little nervous. Touchdown, everything, just a little nervous.
Seriously.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
You're not a nervous flyer, are you, most of the time?
Oh, yeah, well,
A little
I'm
bit?
nervous about what I was going to see and find on the ground.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Antifa,
I see.
terrorism,
Right. You can't help yourself.
fascists.
You're
Let's
gonna,
get to the football,
You know
Pat.
what you're going to get.
Plenty of time
so
for
go
this.
ahead. Keep going.
So,
Yeah.
but, instead, you got really good-looking guys in shorty shorts running on the beach. And you got gals just in California dreaming on bikes. I mean, it was just, I was looking for the guard, couldn't find him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what has happened?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I must be living in a bubble.
You probably are. It wouldn't be the first time.
So no, it was just freaking awesome. California.
Including the game?
I love every part.
You didn't even watch it, did you? You get so
watching the game
into the spectacle.
I almost didn't go. Almost did not make it to the game.
Because of traffic?
No, because of the toilet in my hotel room.
What? What happened?
My life was transformed when I met this toilet.
Well, you know what part of the problem is? California's got all the extra rules that you barely get enough of a flush because they want to conserve the water.
Well,
so there's your special California for you.
Well,
Not at this hotel.
I didn't.
They can use all the water they want.
Whatever you want.
Was this a bidet? Or was this a toilet?
Well, you mean where it sprays water all over your butt?
Yeah. Are you a big bidet guy? They're big in Italy, I think, in Spain.
Well, very, very big.
Yeah.
No, this is an incredible thing. I was so moved by it that I actually texted Gaardsy
Was this
about it.
one of those toilets where it's warmed at the position where your cheeks meet the toilet lid?
But I didn't. But even when I walk into the special room of the shuttered room,
Isn't it called a bathroom?
No. There's a room within the room within the room.
Okay.
And as the toilet senses your presence,
yes,
the lid pops up.
But come on, you're making that up.
He sent me the video.
I am not
He
making
sent
it
me the video.
Gaardsy, am I making that up?
You're not making it up. No.
Well, here's the problem. What if you want to sit on the commode? Does it sense? How does it know?
With the lid down?
Yeah. Well, oh, you mean the lid? I see. I thought you meant the other. There's two lids.
Yeah,
usually.
yeah.
Okay, the lid.
Yeah,
I got
so
you.
the lid, it
just
pops
magically
seat.
pops right up.
The lid goes up. The seat remains.
Stays.
Are you
Okay.
on your own for the seat, or can you just say, Alexa,
yeah, raise the
You
seat
don't
up?
even have to talk. It
It reads your mind?
Yes.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And so, and then you can sit on it and you fall asleep sitting there just because it's just unbelievable. And I didn't want to leave.
So you're telling me you weren't at the Ramada.
Well, here's the deal. So then, I don't know how to flush this toilet. I didn't tell you this part, Gaardsy, because, I discovered that it's got like a
sensor.
A smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a smartphone on the wall that and you got to look it up. I mean, it was unbelievable. So I almost missed the bus.
Just so you're so fascinated with the toilet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's like my dog a few years ago would chase squirrels all the time.
Sure.
And one day he caught a squirrel.
Yeah. And that's where the trouble starts.
And that was it. For the rest of his life, he sat at the bottom of the tree waiting for another. And that's what it was like. This transformed my life. And I just
so you almost didn't get to the game on time because it was so it's such a transcendent experience.
That's what it was. It's a transformation.
Have you ever seen a toilet like this?
And I probably never will again, unless all of us have them in our homes in the future.
Well, you could afford it. There's no question.
Why not?
That. Yeah.
So the game is it was very disappointing, no doubt about it. But here's the deal. So we're up pretty high. So it's almost like
SoFi, the stadium. Correct?
SoFi, yeah. It's it's quite the stadium, and has this incredible scoreboard hanging down the middle of the field. And it's all set up for betting, which I'm not sure is a really good idea. Social media, all that kind of
we
stuff.
don't need your Puritan stuff, okay?
They have a DJ there that kind of walks us through the whole game, and I think we need that at U.S. Bank. But here's the thing. So I'm up high enough so it's almost like a telestrator where I can see everything from up on top. And you can see what's happening. And have you ever been at a movie theater where it's a scary movie and you hear people in the audience say, don't go in there. Turn around. He's coming right at you. That's what it was like.
Ooh.
So you can see these guys coming, you can see the play beginning to develop on both sides of the ball. And you see Carson Wentz standing there, and you can see them coming at him. And no, turn around. He's right behind you. It's just like in a scary movie.
So is this in one of the Beautiful People suites?
Why would I tell you that?
Well, you already told Gaardsy, so
I've never said a word to Gaardsy.
No, you didn't. That was
you're right. It was a third party.
And why? And what? I thought
nobody thinks you're a man of the people.
I thought there was a code of honor.
No, not on that.
Where if you're in the suite, what am I going to?
So who are you?
Am I going to say the names of everybody?
Who are you hobnobbing with?
Very high level.
Was Hank there?
I was going to say any of the Callum Helgen. No, what was her name?
Yeah, Callum. Yeah.
Did I have the name right?
Yeah. Michelle Callum Helgen.
Was she there?
She was great.
Was Hank there?
She was a really good administrator, and I'm sorry, what happened?
I have no idea.
She was pretty amazing.
Yeah, of course she was.
Well, why do you hate U.S. Bank Stadium? It's an incredible stadium.
I got to the bottom of this last week.
I thought you liked SoFi better.
He always defends the Helgens because he's the new Hank. He's the new Hank that gets to come along for all these things.
Yeah, you're right. That's your role now.
Hank Kessler.
No, I don't defend SoFi Stadium, although it's pretty cool, but it's nothing like the U.S. Bank experience.
Why do you do this?
Give me one that's better. I'm just asking you. I would love to see the Raiders Stadium. I'd like to see that.
I think.
Why am I doing it? Because I tell the truth.
No, you're doing it because you've been in local TV for decades, and you know that the way to ingratiate yourself into people's hearts, the audience, is to pretend that everything here is better. That's what you do. You're trained from the moment you walked in to the WCCO TV studios to say exactly that. I'm not a fool.
That hurts me even more.
You're not denying it.
Well, it doesn't hurt me that much.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's a great experience, and they have this like right before the game, like we have, where you've got this incredible thing where you introduce the Vikings and the pre-show and all that. They have something like that there. It's really cute. It really is.
What do you mean? You mean like
you got
instead of skull?
Like here, here it's like the North.
Oh.
We are in the North, and we are Vikings. That kind of thing. They don't have, but it's cool. It is a cool stadium. Here's the thing about it. So it's two teams in there. You got the Rams, you got the Chargers. Right. So there isn't all of the paraphernalia, the wall coverings, and because you got to switch it up every week.
Right.
So, I'm not saying it's sterile, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. But
Yeah, it wasn't if you're a Vikings fan and you're there, it's not a very entertaining outcome.
Well, no, I was
pretty
shocked.
much. Yeah.
I was shocked almost from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I thought we had a shot. These guys.
Were you clamoring from the suite? Were you clamoring for? Were you yelling down to KOC saying, "Well, take him out of the game"? What are you? Have you no him. Decency, man?
Sir.
Yes,
sir. We all were wondering that, no doubt about it. But it was more like it's Brosmer time. There was some of that out there.
Yeah,
but I kind of kept it to myself a little bit. Because there's all these Vikes people there, and you don't
want to offend any sensibilities.
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
but I think
did you run into the Wilfs, or is that they're in a separate area? I assume, right?
Kind of.
Not far though from you. Within arm's length, you're saying. Which of the Wilfs are you more likely to get inroads with?
Lenny.
Lenny?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you say?
He's one of the cousins, right?
Is that? That's a cousin. You're right. Yeah.
He's one of the cousins.
Absolutely.
You and Lenny have a good vibe, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good to know.
His real name's Leonard. Kessler calls him Lenny.
Lenny,
yeah. I said Leonard.
Yeah, you did. That's true. I forgot about him. I'm sorry.
Well, no, he's the best.
I apologize.
He's the best.
How about Ziggy? Bad blood with Ziggy?
No, not at all. I think Ziggy's misunderstood. Mark Wilf is the guy who's out there all the time.
He's usually the one.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here.
He's the one that I try to give advice to, and he looks vacantly over my shoulder.
Were you anywhere near? Did you offer any advice to Kwesi? Adolfo Mensa, the general manager of the team.
I did not see that. Now, what if none of this stuff works out with these trades?
Well,
these acquisitions.
Signings?
Yeah, that's what I should say. These acquisitions.
Yeah, that could be ugly.
I thought was a big topic of conversation.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, as it didn't look as if let's just say the line was porous on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And I'm telling you, when you're watching it from that angle, where it's crazy because you see the plays developing. They're good ideas, but man,
are they?
Man, it was pretty tough. It was hard to watch.
You're going to be maybe offended by this one. U.S. Bank is fine for game viewing. Logistics, however, getting in, getting out, going to bathrooms, getting to bathrooms, concourse traffic, that all sucks.
Well, that's an interesting thing. I told you about the Coliseum. I just returned from Rome, as you know.
Oh, I thought you meant the L.A. Coliseum.
I'm talking about the Roman Coliseum,
the
2,000
Coliseum.
years ago.
2 S's.
Yeah, the Coliseum, 1 L, 2 S's.
That's it.
EUM. That had a seating capacity of 78,000. And scientists did a study just a couple of years ago, and they found that you could empty the Coliseum in 22 minutes.
Come on.
I'm not making this up.
Well, how do they know?
22 minutes based on all the entrances, egress, the size of the
that's
concourses.
Impressive.
Which is faster.
Is there suites? They have suites back then?
They do.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Nero was there.
That's probably true.
I probably would have been right there.
Yeah.
So it takes 22 minutes to get out, which is more quickly than any football arena, soccer.
What did they know that we don't?
In the world right now. They tested this in the Olympics Beijing when they built this beautiful facility in Beijing and discovered that you still can't really get out in time. So, you have a point, listener. You have a point with that. But it's still the overall experience. I think the concourses are generally wide. Have you been to the one in Phoenix? Have you been to the Cardinal Stadium?
I have not. Gaardsy has, I think.
For a Final Four.
You get funned into a 2-lane thing. It's a little crazy there. I think it's pretty good. I don't know of one that is better in the United States. I'm asking. You tell me what it is.
No,
you tell me what it is. Which stadium is better than
It wouldn't
US
matter
Bank?
if there was one.
Well,
you would still pretend there was.
I'm open for suggestions.
Okay.
Listeners, let's let me know.
Okay, we'll open
What's
it up.
the text line?
64686.
Yeah, okay.
Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line. Day 29 of the government shutdown. Is that correct? Is this day 29 or is
It is. No, today is day 29.
And you had told us.
Days?
Yeah, you told us a while ago.
No,
calm down.
No, it's not going to last. Why would it ever last?
Is this what's the record?
35 days.
Oh, so we're approaching it.
We are.
Okay.
And this one is getting a little tougher because more things are closed this government shutdown than in previous ones. The last one, 35 days, was, I'm going to say 2018, and it was because Congress would not go with building the wall. And this one is going to be really tough. On Saturday, which is November 1st, there will be no money for food stamps, for example, SNAP payments. In Minnesota, there are 440,000 people on food stamps. So where are you going to get food if you are on food stamps? The insurance benefits, we already see that they're starting to go up. This week, air traffic controllers missed their first paycheck. So what does that mean? I mean, everybody's going to work without a paycheck. You're flying. There are food stamps that are a problem. TSA is a problem. They're not getting paid. Military, where's the money going to come from for that? This is going to be a mess. There going
to be health premium hikes as soon as Saturday? Is that correct?
No, it'll be at the end of this year, but they are setting the rates right now.
Okay.
And in Minnesota, we have just learned that you can kind of go window shopping right now. You can go online and see what. Right. And there are also, 400,000 people who are on the exchange, on the Affordable Care Act exchange, and it's going to go up quite a bit. It's going to go up. Medica, for example, is projecting 31% increase, and others, Health Partners, UCare, 18 to 27%. That is before the subsidies that everybody gets. Here it is.
Got a deal, Gaardsy?
No, but we should break in to at least let people know that John Heyman, your guy, baseball writer,
yes,
reporting that. Hang on,
you sure it's the real John Heyman?
I am.
Okay,
925,000 followers. Derek Shelton being hired as the new Twins manager.
Whoa, interesting.
Whoa. Tweet from 2 minutes ago. Other people may have said it. He's the first one I saw. I'm just kind of looking at it here, but Derek Shelton being hired as Twins manager. So we'll keep you posted here on more confirmation and talk about it in a minute.
Fair enough. I was disappointed. I wanted Lavel to get this scoop.
He may have.
He may have it.
Yeah, we don't even know. Okay, well, we'll get...
So, former manager of the Pirates.
Interviewed back in 2018.
That's not the guy I wanted, but I'm not a ball guy, so it doesn't really matter what I think.
I mean, it's good to close the loop on this. Don't you agree?
Well, does it... Ordinarily, I'd say yes. I think this is going to be met largely with a yawn by fans because I just don't think they feel like anything matters right now until we get a better sense of the vision.
Well, you're not wrong.
within the program.
You are not wrong. When we finally have a sense.
James Rowson's a guy I was interested in. He had been here before, hitting coach. Yeah, now New York.
Yeah.
I know he was interviewed. I think. Allegedly, Torrey Hunter wasn't interested in being interviewed, but then Lavel talked to Hunter, and he denied that he'd been approached. So I don't know where we're at with this.
What do you want as an exciting manager? I mean, where people are going to get excited?
Sparky Anderson.
Yeah, or Joe Madden. I mean...
Joe Madden would be good.
Who is the manager that would excite people? Maybe we need meat and potatoes guy. Maybe that's what we need here.
Shelton was the manager of the Pirates for 5+ seasons, and as Gaardsy said, he was a finalist back in October 2018. That's when Rocco and the Baldali Llama was hired, tight with your guy Falvey, and then GM Thad Levine. According to The Athletic, he also helped engineer an elaborate plan to allow Joe Mauer to catch one last pitch after more than 5 years away from the position in the final game of his career. That's pretty good. Excite me all that much.
I did think that was funny when I read that earlier.
That's a nugget that I'm going, okay, that's nice. I just hope that's not one of his main qualifications. But, of course, he has managed before.
So, bench coach for the Twins in 2018.
Yeah.
So, Yankees, Indians, Rays, Blue Jays. and then the manager of the Pirates.
We're happy for him.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
All right, I got a lot more to try to get to with you, including this was an interesting. This is the way one of the snarky online folks wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptozoologists report a rare sighting of an alleged third branch of government. We'll explain exactly what we mean on that, and more Kessler when we return. Kessler back in the house as we prepare for a big night of basketball on the Fan. We are game 2 of the national doubleheader tonight. Tonight's ESPN night, I believe.
It is.
And game 1, here's the beauty of it. If you're a Wolves aficionado, game 1 is Boston taking on somebody. I can't even remember who it is, but they're hosting, and that means you can see a couple of ex-Wolves that we just were talking about back in the lineup.
Josh Minot, Luka
Minot
Garza.
starting, Luka off the bench as well. And then it's Wolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. I was just chatting with Kessler about Hillbilly Kobe, giving him a little background on him. That, of course, is Austin Reeves, 41 points in 51 his last 2 games. Now, again, he couldn't guard any of us. And the Wolves took advantage of that.
Funny.
He's not a good defensive player at all, but he can score a little bit. And with LeBron out,
I'll take it.
With lithesome Luka out as well, then that explains a lot. Let me get back to the snarky tweet I'd mentioned that I teased with out of the break to get your reaction to it. I can find it. Let me scroll down. Here it is. Somebody named Jesse Walker, I don't know what his background is. He's got a blog, like everybody, wrote, cryptozoologists report a rare sighting of an alleged third branch of government. And what inspired this snark? A tweet from somebody named Jamie Dupree. The Senate, this was, I think, from yesterday, votes 52-48 to overturn President Trump's 50% tariffs on Brazil. 5 GOP senators break ranks to vote against Trump. Collins, Maine; McConnell, Kentucky; Murkowski, she's Alaska.
Alaska,
right?
Correct.
Paul is in Rand, I'm assuming Kentucky, and Tillis, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So what do we know about this? And is this a breakthrough, or is this just a very isolated situation that does not mean that the Senate or Republican legislators might grow a backbone?
Well, this is a significant step because it does indicate that some Republicans are becoming very frustrated with the tariffs. This doesn't have anything to do with the shutdown, except for, okay, they passed this bill. Let's see what the House does. But the House is not in session. And the Speaker of the House will not.
So does this make this symbolic as much as anything then?
Well, they want to get the ball rolling.
Right.
And so none of this is going to happen. Now, farmers with tariffs and the shutdown and all of this is just an incredible situation. The president is overseas right now. His
Japan?
critics. Japan, Korea today.
On his way to China. Is he doing China too?
He's going to do in Seoul. He's going to talk with President Xi of China. And we all hope something will happen there. But the president currently is MIA as we begin entering record territory for the shutdown. Now, here's the deal. You've got Minnesota farmers who cannot sell their crops, their soybean crops, American farmers also, because China has shut down all purchases from the United States of soybeans because of the tariffs. Meanwhile, President Trump has given $20 billion to Argentina and told Americans to buy Argentine beef, not American beef. And what are we going to do about this? This is just a little crazy right now with the shutdown, with all of that. Yeah, the Senate is starting to step up. Somehow, Democrats and Republicans are going to have to figure this out. I don't know when people stop getting their paychecks, and it's already going to start in days now with all of these really important places. And the Democrats are saying we're not going to negotiate until we make sure we have the subsidy so people's health care premiums don't go from $800 is what the estimate is, $800 a month to $1,900 a month. That's kind of what we're looking at right now. And they're not going to budge, and Republicans won't budge until it's open. So nothing's going to happen until Trump says, "Okay, let's do something."
I suppose,
and he will not. He'll stare down that locomotive coming right at him.
Well, you had one. I meant to save it. Well, I thought that one of the big unions nationally basically called on the Dems to cave. In effect,
that would be the air traffic controllers.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was a different. Whatever. I don't know if that's going to have any impact. Is there any sign that there's disagreement among the Dems about how they should proceed, or is it still they're in lockstep too, saying no, we got to stand tall now?
Well, everybody's generally lockstep. There's a handful of Dems, just like there's a handful of Republicans in the Senate, who say this is crazy and we should open this up. And let's just vote on what they call a quote-unquote clean bill. But there's no guarantee, and Democrats are gun-shy because so many promises have been broken to them. But somebody's got to do something, and a pox on both your houses for not doing anything. They're not negotiating. They're not doing anything.
I assume you're one of those bleeding hearts who's pretending to wax nostalgic about the east side of the White House.
That's a disgrace. I'm trying to figure out how to do this diplomatically. What is happening here where President Trump
just the East Wing.
I agree with President Trump.
They've renovated it before.
Yeah, that I agree that maybe they need
a wrecking ball before quite like this, did we?
What are you talking about? They've renovated it before.
He's just trying to.
People are saying he's not the first president to touch a few things up.
Not. He's touching things up, isn't he? He brings the excavators and the wrecking ball in literally in the middle of the night to start it at daybreak so that nobody can stop him. Nobody knows what's going on. Yes, it is true that President Obama had a $357 million renovation of the White House. It also went through at least a year of hearings with Congress, and you know what it was? It was plumbing. They put in new plumbing. Maybe they put in those new toilets that I love so much.
Guessing, yeah.
They put in new
now
electrical.
They're gold-plated if they're putting in new ones
now they put in electric. Yeah. Nothing you can really see.
Yes.
He also put in a basketball court outside where the tennis courts were.
I see.
And they paid for it themselves, that part of it. Trump says this is all going to be, first he said he was going to pay for it himself, and now it's going to be corporations and billionaire donors.
Unnamed, yeah.
So in my view, what you're looking at is donors who are donating money to demolish the White House with nobody asking for it and nobody approving it. So, Trump can go ahead and do. Sure, why not? Nobody gives an F anymore. Anyway.
It's true.
It doesn't matter.
It's dogs
We're
and
getting
cats
a
living
fire
together.
hose of stuff.
Yeah.
And this was historic, even if we needed it. And I would love to know from Trump, and he's a builder. I would love to have seen the plans and see what he has in mind. I would love it.
Are they still going to call it the East Wing?
They're going to call
that's the ballroom,
they're
right?
Going
it's
to
the Trump
call
ballroom?
The President Donald J. Trump Ballroom is the name that it's on it when they're raising money.
He's earned it.
Now, who are the big donors? Meta, Apple, Amazon, Google.
One of the Winklevoss twins, right?
Is it one or both?
Might be both.
Can you tell them apart?
No.
They're identical twins. And it's pretty amazing. What a story, the Winklevoss twins. So what do they want? So we don't know any of this.
Oh, you're saying
they want Meta back.
They might want something? You don't think they did this out of the goodness of their hearts?
Or, if they don't want something, they don't want anything to be done to them and their companies.
Yeah.
So, I think President Trump is probably right. We need something here. And maybe we could make it elegant. Have you seen the pictures, how big it is going to be compared to...
It's not, yeah.
It's going to be like SoFi.
It's not going to be
elegant. It's going to be like SoFi Stadium.
It's going to be garish, like everything else that's been changed in the White House.
I don't know. I like the Arc de Trump. You know that arch?
Yes.
I think that I think that's a good idea. Why not?
We don't have a lot of time. Probably should have gotten to it sooner. Who is Jim Nobles, and what's he writing about lately?
James Nobles was for many years, 15 years, Minnesota's independent watchdog, the legislative auditor. He's the guy who goes in and ferrets out all of the bad things that happened. And he claims in an editorial with the Star Tribune that an op-ed piece that he wrote for them, that he warned legislators many times about the fraud that was occurring on their watch, under their noses. And he claims in this op-ed that he was told, look the other way. We're not going to make a big deal out of this. We don't want to be critical of this. What we want is for this, we're not going to give it public hearings. These are, in my view, very, very significant accusations from the former legislative auditor, the watchdog. And he says not just Walz or previous Democratic governors, he says Democratic legislators told him that they would not hold public hearings on this. And the words he used, and I want to say this so
I read it because I had missed it. I read it because you sent the note earlier, and it was strong.
And he says that the Democrats felt that they were touchy-feely about all of this, that the reports were subjecting human services programs to too much criticism,
too much scrutiny, yeah.
Particularly programs administered by Somali community organizations. So, I mean, he's touching a nerve here, and it's shocking what he says. And so, thank goodness that the feds, at least,
it got involved. Yep. Yeah, exactly it. By the way, it's Boston's hosting Cleveland. For the record, I couldn't remember that's the early game tonight. All right, what's your next junket? I mean, what's the next big trip? Do you have one planned? Can you tell us, or would you rather not?
No, it's private, and the word private means
private.
It means it's personal, and
you've been on this show long enough that I don't think
it costs nothing, as Gaardsy has told me more than once. It costs nothing to mind your own business. The cost is zero.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so
I have told you that.
Yeah.
You have.
That's one of my favorite lines.
He has told me
true,
this,
yeah.
and I was a little bit offended because I thought I was being funny, and then I'm like, whoa.
That's a good line, actually.
Yeah.
Who'd you steal that
from? He came up with it.
No, I remember. I don't remember
that's
who
a good
I stole
one.
it from.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
It's a good line.
Yeah, I've got many private things.
You coming to Wrigley? You don't come to Gopher games
that's
anymore.
right.
You completely
Gophers
bailed on
Northwestern?
PJ.
Yeah. So
you have turned on.
Well, we're on PJ. This is a great program. What are you gonna? Who do you want?
Oh, here we go.
Who do you want to get? I'm just asking.
I'm not calling for his
Let's
head.
get Nick Saban.
They just
How
had
about
a horrible.
Did
you see what happened against Iowa?
It was a terrible.
You didn't
game.
go, of course.
In Iowa?
Yeah.
At Kinnick? Why would I go there?
He's in Santa Monica.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Weird.
I'm on the beach, so I'm going to go to Kinnick Stadium. That's me. Yeah, right. Okay, fine.
Farm boy.
Yeah, why would that? Why don't be that? It makes you come off as being very
No, I don't mean that.
patronizing and condescending. I thought
I have been treated badly by Iowa fans.
Do you not have an agrarian bone in your body?
I do.
I mean, come on.
I do. You're right.
Not anymore.
I do.
Yeah, it's gone. You're the city slicker now, aren't you? Oh, let's go to Venice. Let's go to Freak Beach, Venice Beach.
Well, back in the day, I mean, just having a bathroom in the house. That was a good.
Let alone
that was the thing you
one where the lid
to.
gets lifted.
I'm trying to come up with a comparison of if Trump took a bulldozer to the East Wing, what Kessler has done to the farm boy. It's pretty much the same thing.
Why would you say that? That hurts me too. I come in here, I'm open, you ask me questions, and then you beat the hell out of me with them. I tell you the truth, and then you just
see you later.
And I got to go.
We got to go. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Or is there another trip?
There will be another trip.
There'll be another trip, but maybe
next week, I'm planning my outfit for next Wednesday. I'm planning my outfit. Purple Rain, my friend.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Purple Rain.
It's a big night.
My purple brocade velvet knee-length jacket.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you so much.
Shirt.
Yeah, we actually, Gaardsy, have some off-air production meetings to discuss regarding some guest availabilities regarding the Prince musical. So I'll try to cover that, you and me, off-air. Might lead to a good outcome. Let's wrap up the program when we return.
Show wrap presented by American Pressure, commercial-grade pressure washer since 1975.
It's the bumper-to-bumper show wrap.
How much time we got? Not much, right?
We have 4 minutes from right now.
4 minutes to go. X's and O's, Vikings X's and O's will follow us tonight. Don't forget Wolves-Lakers on the flagship, FM 100.3 The Fan, and the Timberwolves channel. That's an 8:30, 8:40 tap. Second game of the national doubleheader. Wolves-Lakers. Tomorrow is a Salisbury day. It's a Russo day. It might be a Mike Conley day. There are rumors about that as well. We'll keep you indeed posted. Thank you to Kessler and Mason for their in-studio visits. Let me try to do Radio 101 for people who seem to not understand how it works. Because I have a texter from much earlier in the show who's very unhappy with our continued conversation about the decision to play Carson Wentz. And I don't know how to explain this better than to say, leave the radio to the professionals. Today, for the first time, Carson Wentz commented on all of the back and forth regarding the Vikings decision. Today. That still makes it relevant today. When we have a former football coach, head football coach, on the show, and it's our first chance to talk with him publicly about it, I think it's worth getting his response to it. And either way, I didn't screen it. He could have said, Dan, I disagree with you totally on the Carson Wentz decision. But that's relevant. Just because we've covered something for several days doesn't mean we're going to ignore opportunities to advance the story by getting the opinions of others. This isn't that complicated. For that person, he obviously thinks it's not a big deal that Wentz played. Because that's the truth. When people say to me, this goes back year after year, decade after decade, I'm sick of you talking about this, you're not. What you're sick of is you don't agree with the opinion that I've advanced. Be honest and be more forthright about it, and then maybe I would understand the position. But it has nothing to do on any subject with your covering this too much, because I'm covering it with different people, or I'm covering it with new information, which in this case was the commentary from Carson Wentz himself. That continues to make the story relevant. You may not be interested in it any longer, but I can show you the dozens and dozens of texts from people who are still commenting on both sides of it, saying it's fine that he played, they did what they had to do, and in some cases, no, I agree with you. This is exactly what they did the exact opposite of what they would have done. So again, I just try to pay attention and understand, and look in the mirror and be honest with yourself that it isn't that we're covering it more than once, which is legal on a 3.5-hour, 5-day-a-week show. It's that you don't agree with the position taken here, which is legal, but has nothing to do with whether we are covering the whole thing too much. What'd I say? Vikings X's and O's next, is that right?
That's what's
coming
up.
Are you on your way to Target?
I will not be there
the other
tonight.
day, but tonight you're not.
I'm not planning on being there tonight.
I was tempted, but I don't think I'm going to go.
We got basketball practice tonight I got to get to.
Teeth in the glass, too. It's too late.
It's true. It's a late night. Although you get the hour back this weekend. Don't
That's
forget.
true. I forgot about that.
So plan ahead.
Thank you for listening. Thank you indeed for watching. And I get it. U.S. Bank Stadium is superior to any stadium in the history of professional football. That includes, of course, Gaardy's Lambeau Field.
The stories a stadium could tell.